Good morning and welcome to the Safety Net series brought to you by the United Way of Southwest Alabama. This week we are talking about our volunteer program called Volunteer Connect. We have Brad Martin who's going to be joining us, and we'll learn about all of the different things that the system can do and how you can utilize it to connect with your favorite agencies in the community. But before we do that, we also want to make sure and thank all of our wonderful sponsors. AL.com, Publix, Blue Cross Blue Shield, AARP, Kimberly-Clark, Moz, the Porch Creek Indians, the Southwest Alabama Labor Council, Hancock Whitney, Georgia Pacific, International Paper, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Williams, Mobile Airport Authority, APM Terminals, BASF, Mobile Bag Company, and Harper Technologies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see a full list of all of our sponsors at the end. So without further ado, we will bring Brad on. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Okay, so Volunteer Connect. It is a United Way program. Go.
It is. Yes, it is. And it's actually a program we've had for a while, and it continues to grow. We switched to, we were using a volunteer management system, which we have switched to we call it Volunteer Connect. We rebranded it in 2014. And basically, I call it Career Builder for volunteer jobs. It is basically anywhere you want to volunteer. If you are looking for a place to volunteer, it is your one-stop shop. If you're a nonprofit agency, it is a place to request volunteers. It has some other side benefits, namely that you can also post events for people to attend and let people know what's going on in the community, which is a nice plus. But its main goal is to offer ways to connect, as the name implies, volunteers with nonprofit agencies looking for volunteers. And a nice side benefit is that it is attached to the University of South Alabama's volunteer management system, which is called SouthServes. And what that means is any agency that posts a volunteer project to Volunteer Connect automatically has that information transferred over to SouthServes as well. So you don't have to manage two separate need listings and two separate volunteer profiles. You can just put it in Volunteer Connect and have it carry over.
Nice.
And it serves the whole community. Most of our needs are in the Mobile area. There is an ongoing push to get more volunteers as well as more agencies in Clark, Choctaw, and Washington counties to post items and to search for items, and we're looking to grow in that area. But there are more than 200 projects in the system at any one time.
That's amazing. How many people would you say are utilizing at this point?
Well, between South, we have about 4,000 users in the system just in Volunteer Connect.
Mm-hmm.
Some are obviously more active than others. And then the University of South Alabama has even more folks than that in their system. So the potential is there to reach a lot of people. And what we find too is a lot of what I get are people calling, I won't say a lot, but I do get a fair number of calls from parents looking to find volunteer projects for students. And one of the nice things is that among ways to filter, you can filter by zip code. You can also filter by age range. So if there is a project that would not be appropriate for someone under 21, maybe you're looking for a bartender at an event, then those needs would not show up if you age filtered. And what I tell parents is, because the call that I get is, hello, I'm calling because my child needs service hours. Where can they volunteer? And my response is generally, well, there are more than 200 projects. I couldn't possibly sit here and read them all to you. And furthermore, what I would recommend is that you go online with your child and review these options together. Try to figure out something that they're going to enjoy doing. It will give them a love of volunteering. They'll have a better volunteer experience. The agency will have a better volunteer experience with that volunteer. And you might even find a project that is meaningful enough to your child that a long-term relationship can be built on that. And that's always a plus for our community as well as for your students. So, that's one of the big things that we find people use it for. And then the other big benefit is that you can track service hours. The students at University of South Alabama are big into this for their various clubs and organizations, but even working people who maybe have a project that if they get credit in their job for volunteer hours, may want to track those hours. And so the system allows them to build what we call a volunteer resume. And the agencies can authorize or verify that those hours were volunteered. And then it shows up as a resume that they can actually print out. It's a very nice PDF. So it's something that sort of gives a little bit of gravitas to the fact that, yes, you really did volunteer these hours, and the people you volunteered with backed you up on that.
Nice. So what is the process? How does one get to Volunteer Connect?
Well, the easiest way is through the United Way website. The direct URL is volunteer.uwswa.org, but you can get there and through our regular website at uwswa.org. Leslie, you probably can tell me a little bit more about exactly where you click on and where it is on the page. When I use a screen reader, it doesn't always read the same way.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the page. It'll let you log in through your Facebook account if you want, or you can register using your own email, and you can create your own password. And then you can it'll give you a dashboard that shows where you volunteered before, how many hours you've accumulated, if you have places that you go regularly. And for someone that's new, you can actually go through and, like, if you know agencies that you are interested in being partnering with, you can click on them, and then you will get notifications from that agency.
Yeah, that's called becoming a fan. And we really encourage you to do that, because when you become a fan, well, for one thing, when you first sign up for a profile, it's going to ask you to pick out some areas of interest. Are you interested in volunteer needs regarding arts and culture? Are you interested in homelessness? Are you interested in animals? Are you interested in environmental causes? Are you interested in essentials? Are you interested in education? And so it will try to do some matchmaking and say, hey, you were interested in clerical work and education, and we think this would be a good fit for you. So it will present some options to you that way. But you can take it a step further. And as Leslie was saying, you can become a fan of an agency. What that does, it takes it to a whole nother level. So what happens is, as soon as that organization or that agency posts a volunteer need or an event, you will get an email as soon as they hit the submit button. And I try to fan all of the agencies. And I can tell you, when I've posted things, the email comes back to me within about 2 seconds. And so you are the first to know when an organization that you like needs help from volunteers, and you can sign up. So being a fan of an organization is great. If you're really enthusiastic about that organization and you want to help them recruit volunteers, share their profile on your social media. And if you're an organization member yourself, share it on your own social media at the organization. Say, hey, we're on Volunteer Connect, and if you'll become a fan, you can then learn about the volunteer projects that we have as soon as we need them. And it's a great way to, again, do some matchmaking with volunteers and agencies. Because when volunteer agencies post needs, we also have to pick, is this an education cause? Is it an environment? Is it, whatever? And so then we see that if you're interested in certain things, the system will try and match you. It's a great feature. And it's very easy to use. What we have found is I've used several of these platforms. This is by far the one that I like the best. And not just because we've been using it for 9 years, but I really find it's very intuitive. There's also a mobile app, which is has gone a lot farther. If you maybe have used the mobile app and haven't used it for a couple of years, it's really taken it to a new level. You can now search for volunteer projects using your phone. The site is mobile friendly as well, but there's an app called Cause Connect. And Cause Connect, the developer is Galaxy Digital, which is the company that makes our software. Cause Connect will let you sign in to your Volunteer Connect profile. It will let you browse projects, of course, but it will also let you check in when you go to volunteer so that your hours are counted and captured. We're really excited about Cause Connect. I will say, if you are a University of South Alabama student or a faculty or staff member who uses South Serves, because you guys at the university use single sign-on, it's not compatible with Cause Connect, unfortunately. That's not to say that people who post needs in Volunteer Connect won't be seen both places. It's just that volunteers who log in will go through South Serves instead of through Volunteer Connect or Cause Connect. But it's a great feature, and the app is available both for the iPhone and for Android platform phones. I know I have it on my phone, and it works great.
And I have put that as a banner, and then I'll also again put up how you can get to Volunteer Connect, and that's volunteer.uwswa.org. So it's easy to find, and there is also 2 buttons on our United Way's regular website that connects as well. Are there any other thoughts or things that we need to talk about for Volunteer Connect?
Well, I'll just say that we are about to have a training for our agencies and organizations. It's almost full. We do this at least once a year because we find that there's always a need as staff members change and as the system upgrades and changes, and it's constantly improving. The company that develops it, Galaxy Digital, is always making upgrades to the system in good ways. And so we do this at least once a year. And the good thing about that is when we have a training like this, we encourage the organizations to bring their volunteer needs. So if you are looking for volunteer projects, go become a fan of the organizations in the system that you like, because they're all going to start posting needs pretty soon. It happens inevitably every time we post or every time we host a training, we get a lot of posting of new needs. So if you're looking to volunteer, now is a great time to get involved with Volunteer Connect, because those needs are going to start popping up like crazy.
And I know you say you've got a couple of spots left. How do we register?
It is on Volunteer Connect. At the moment, it should be listed as a happening.
Okay.
And so instead of going to needs, you would go to happenings, and it should be posted there as Volunteer Connect. Volunteer recruitment is what it's listed under.
Okay.
And it should be available. As I say, at the moment, there are about 2 spots left. We've decided that if we do fill up completely and people are still wanting to get in, that we would consider hosting another one. We've just never had it fill up before. And we're very excited about the fact that there's so much interest this year.
Great. All right. Again, so we talked Volunteer Connect today, and all of the wonderful things that it can do for nonprofit organizations to connect to volunteers, and how individuals and groups can connect to projects and happenings in the community. Thank you so much, Brad, for sharing some time with us to talk about the program, and hopefully we'll get a lot of people signing up and getting out there and helping all of the organizations do the work.
I would agree with that. And thank you for the opportunity to spread the word, because there is a tremendous amount of need out there. I get new projects posted every day. And as I say, I fan all the agencies, so I know what's going on. And there are forever projects coming up. So there's always need out there. If you are looking to volunteer your time, there is a place for you, no matter your interest or your level of availability. There's something out there for you. Check out Volunteer Connect, and I'm certain you will find it.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
One final thank you to our sponsors. I've got them listed there. We appreciate all that they do for us. They help us get a lot of our work done, and so we are grateful for them. And so that's it for today, and we will look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a great day.